Hello, hello. Welcome to the Morning Dopamine podcast. I'm Moses, and I'm here today with Blabe,
Hello.
my boy Josh,
Yo, what's up?
Saucio from yeah, okay, Turtle Duck, nice,
Sorry,
Are you talking at me?
nice, okay, and you know,
I don't think he's here.
No, we're gonna keep this. This is perfect.
He's-
This
he's
is just what I want this to be.
this is actually perfect. It's going swimmingly, I would say, but. Anyway, Blade brought up a really important topic the other day.
Wait, I think his mic is broken.
No, he's here.
No, his mic's moving, but
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
right
hear
there.
Oh, there he is.
A little troubleshooting. Okay, it's all good. We'll get that in post. It's fine.
Thought you were gonna say my boyfriend Josh. I was gonna kill myself laughing.
Yeah. And that's a really good segue into. So what's this about funeral processions, Blabe?
We're not doing that right away. We're not doing that right
okay.
away.
This could be our test run.
Okay.
Yeah, this
well,
is perfect. This
well,
is perfectly
listen.
Candid.
What is this
no.
about? What is this about NFTs then? Everyone loves NFTs, right?
I swear.
Are they
money
actually a
laundering?
scam?
A
Wait.
money laundering scheme? Is that what we're talking about?
No,
I thought we
man.
were talking about coffee.
Let's do coffee. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're gonna talk about coffee. All right.
Wait,
Now,
is Red Food
Wait.
here?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I have
He's here.
I have
He's
push to
here.
talk on.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. So coffee. Explain.
All right. So earlier we were looking into ordering coffee. Now me, like a human, had my husband brew it for me, but Moses had like a good 30 minutes of debating how much white chocolate he wanted in his coffee. You want to elaborate?
Did you say white chocolate in your coffee? Excuse
He
me,
was
is this
ordering from
Starbucks?
Dunkin'.
What the fuck?
He spent like a 30 minutes like configuring this like complicated coffee, and then he immediately goes, "Maybe I'll just get McDonald's. I don't want a burger, but I want coffee."
Okay, but let's be real, dude. McDonald's, you can have McDonald's coffee anytime you want. That shit's like $1.50,
Yeah, it's not real
whatever.
coffee though.
It's coffee, right? And then
No,
you
it's
have
not real coffee.
There-
It's good though.
okay. So what's the tiers to coffee? Like, what's the
They-
best coffee you can order? Like,
No. What I'm telling you is McDonald's. They use like coffee flavor pouches. Like it's just water and like a tea bag of like
But
coffee
it's so
flavoring.
good.
is it really?
It's not even coffee. Yeah. I had a friend that worked at McDonald's.
But isn't it like ground coffee
what
beans
year?
and they put it in the
Wait, what year?
machine?
I don't know, like maybe like 10 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Okay, that's how they used to do it then, because it's like actual decent coffee.
yeah, it's coffee now,
obviously,
right?
in
Like
Canada.
McCafe coffee.
It's so good now. The new coffees.
Yeah, the new
I don't
coffee is
know.
not that bad.
Whenever I have McDonald's coffee, I just taste like the cardboard cup.
McDonald's
It's-
coffee is apparently
much.
gourmet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Gavina is a coffee supplier for McDonald's, and they use a blend of Arabica, coffee beans grown in Brazil, Colombia, Guatemala, and Costa Rica.
Nice. No, wow, that's
Yeah, but
that's
here's the
ethnic.
thing though. They don't know how to brew it. Like they cook it at like the max fucking temperature that they can do without giving you third-degree burns.
Do you live in the
When's
States?
the last time you had? Wait, what?
Does Turtle Duck, you live in the United States, right?
Yeah.
What state, if you don't mind me asking?
Massachusetts.
Cause I mean over here.
Oh, so you run on Dunkin'.
Oh yeah, baby.
I mean, I've had McDonald's coffee plenty of times, and I don't drink coffee as much as my brother, but I like the taste of the coffee from McDonald's.
Good.
It tastes like coffee. I mean,
Are you in Canada though?
no, I'm in New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean over here it's ass, but I mean like they're not gonna beat out Dunkin' anyway. There's a Dunkin' on every block.
Oh, of course.
I was gonna
That's
say in
true.
Massachusetts, Dunkin' is like the biggest thing. It's even bigger than Starbucks. That's like their thing of choice on those when they have those maps of the United States and they're like, oh, this is the most popular restaurant in each state. It's always Dunkin' in Massachusetts.
That's true. There's
You're
literally
6'6".
so many Dunkins over here.
Yeah,
It's the opposite
yeah.
in Canada. There's like barely any Dunkins.
And you
all
got Tim
Starbucks,
Hortons.
You.
Another thing about it is like the price point. Like you could go to McDonald's and get a large coffee for like $1 or something, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool. You know?
That's the thing though. Like, okay, but the thing is, like, okay, back to what Blabe said. Right? I was like, I want a coffee, and I was gonna get a coffee from McDonald's, but I was like, nah, I don't really want a burger. Like, you can't just like DoorDash. All right, just a coffee. Cool. No.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta understand. There's
Like
like a 20
DoorDash?
minutes of this.
For just a coffee?
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't do
rich,
that. I
privileged
didn't do
fuck.
that though. I
mean, listen,
ordered
if it was
Dunkin' Donuts.
Starbucks.
I ordered Dunkin' Donuts.
Wait. Okay, so
For
there was
just
like
a coffee?
No, I got a extra large coffee. I got a croissant
Did you get the bagel?
sandwich,
You get the
and
croissant.
no, I got a croissant sandwich, and it came with like these little hash browns, and it was like $12, which
Oh.
is
Yeah,
like,
but I bet you didn't want any of that other crap. You just wanted the coffee.
yeah, I just wanted the coffee, but I still didn't eat anything, so I ate it.
But you don't want to
Obviously.
drink coffee on an empty stomach because that's
Yeah.
the way to erode your stomach lining.
And you can
real
ask
fast.
Blabe. I was literally sitting there looking like, oh, do I get the holiday blend? Do I get the
Oh god.
midnight roast?
He
Dude,
sat there for so long, and then
White
at the end
privilege.
of like 30 minutes, he
Shut
went,
up.
maybe I'll just get McDonald's.
I'm not gonna
That was the
lie.
funny
When I
part.
have when I make fun of it, but when I go there, like when I'm at the drive-through, they have so many like different advertisements for try this. This is new. This is new. Like I order all that stuff too.
And that's
so
why I
I'm
would
not
never
gonna
go
be
to
a hypocrite.
And that's why I
Here's
would
the
never go to
thing, though.
Like he
Starbucks.
was gonna get the holiday blend because he was like, "Oh, it's new." It's like, well, you might as well try it, right? If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I basically live like in the hood, kinda. So whenever I go to Dunkin' and they have a new thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to try the midnight roast or the holiday blend. They never have it brewed.
Really?
It's like we ain't brewing that shit. We're just gonna brew the normal crap, decaf and regular, and they never have any of
Really?
like the
Dunkin' on
fancy
the
stuff.
outside, Popeyes on the
For
inside.
real, dude. We have like a kosher, like a straight up kosher Dunkin' Donuts, and they have like the best coffee. Whenever I want
Yeah,
coffee, it's always like to go to that specific Dunkin'.
See, ironically though, the Popeyes near us is super bougie, like really good, high quality.
Really,
Yeah, it's like it's weird.
they always got the chicken sandwich in stock. You don't gotta pre-order, reserve.
dude.
You know.
Megan the Stallion, the hottie burger with the hottie
Hot
sauce.
sauce.
Oh
All
my.
about it.
Oh,
That's real?
man. She's
Yeah.
sponsored by them.
Yeah, she has her own sauce there. You haven't seen the
Oh.
commercial.
What?
Yeah.
But like
It's like,
it's a permanent
It's
sauce.
literally it's Megan the Stallion's hottie sauce.
No, it's a promotional
Let me Google
for sure,
this.
just like
Oh,
the
okay.
BTS meal and stuff. But the sauce is unironically good. It's like hot sauce mixed with mango habanero.
That's not bad.
They have some pretty good stuff. I feel like that one that Popeyes is kind of known for their sauces like that. Like if they don't have honey mustard, they have like Mardi Gras sauce, and it's like
Yeah,
Mardi
yeah.
Gras, but
That's
it's
how that
actually
works.
really good.
Hey, Irish representation.
And
I haven't
two,
been to
I feel like
Popeyes, man.
I feel like Popeyes is kind of like going to a Waffle House. Like, you know, like the struggle of actually getting your food is kind of part of the experience. Like if you go to a Waffle House and order a waffle and there's not two people fighting in the parking lot and one of the chefs is smacking the other one upside the head, then you're in the wrong Waffle House. The food's going to be shit.
Honestly,
True.
that's a very firm point, dude.
Like the
Like,
same
if I
with
go-
Denny's.
If I go into a Waffle House and immediately the two chefs are cursing at each other, the register lady's like, "What do you want?"
It's-
I'm like, "Oh man, my food's gonna be great."
I
that
get
a
food
common
and
thing?
entertainment. Food and
Wait.
entertainment. Let's get it.
The video of the
show.
video of the guy asking for the waffle while the two cooks are fighting. Can I get a waffle? And the dude
I've seen
smashing
that.
the other guy's head off the register. Can I please get a waffle?
See, but it's like a bit of a gamble too, you know, for people that like to live on the edge, because you don't know if they're going to spit in your food or not. It's like a 50-50.
That's
Again, it's all part of the experience. You just
Is
said
that not extra
Yeah.
flavor?
seasoning. It's seasoning.
Not extra flavor. I know, right?
Hurt you.
The conflict adds seasoning to the food. It's
Natural Cajun
it's the
flavorings.
hidden spice. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's why I go to Burger King. Just the hope I get to taste some Burger King foot lettuce.
I was gonna
Burger
say the
King
meat is
foot
fucking
lettuce.
delicious. God damn it.
Is it just me or like is Burger King slept on?
Okay, I was gonna
It's
say
just
this.
a- oh my God.
I don't eat Burger King at all, but
Why?
I've seen how they make their food, and low key, they're like the only fast food restaurant that legitimately cooks their food. They hand
Yes.
bread
No,
their
no, no,
chicken.
Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's.
I'm not gonna lie,
Wendy's.
Wendy's has
Wendy's
gone
is
so downhill though the last few years.
Has
Maybe it's
it?
just the Wendy's by me, but the Wendy's that I've been eating has been garbage the last
Really?
year.
Oh,
They added the skin back to the French fries.
Wait, they
I
took
think
those
that's how it
off?
was in the past too. Like they added the
Dude.
skin, like they don't cut the skin off anymore.
what the heck?
Wendy's
Wendy's?
used to lead the game in the spicy chicken
Yeah.
sandwich.
You
You
ever
know,
had
spicy
Wendy's
chicken sandwich
breakfast,
from
though?
Wendy's, and that was so gas. And now I feel like it's so mid, and it's just the biggest disappointment of my life. I feel like the guy on
Wendy-
Tosh Point crying about how there's no chicken fries.
Dude, Wendy's breakfast though, they have these wedge fries.
Yes.
so
Yes, the potatoes, they're so
Bullseye.
good.
Yes.
Absolutely bullseye. Their breakfast is
Yes.
good.
You
On the
know,
flip side though, their sandwiches are so small for breakfast. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the port. Yeah, but they're
That
good.
shit's
They're
nasty.
really good.
with
The-
the wedge fries.
it tastes like a real egg, right? I'm pretty sure it's a real egg they're using, right? It's not like some like
So I've only been to 2 fast food restaurants where I've seen the egg get cracked, and no lie, I went through the drive-through Wendy's and the one in White Castle's.
White
as funny as
Castle's,
that
yeah.
sound.
White Castle's breakfast.
You can tell that egg is straight up cracked and fried there.
Yep, it's not like, all right, we just microwave the egg. We're good. All right, put it on. All right, good to go.
I miss my back in Canada. We had Timmy's, and they used to have this thing called a farmer's wrap, and I used to go there every morning when I get to work because that was working when I was working at a gym. There's a Timmy's next to it, and this was delicious, like fresh egg with like bacon and a hash brown in there, wrapped in like a little pita bread, and that was so good.
Timmy's
Wait.
or Tim Hortons?
I was gonna say, is that Tim Hortons? The
Timmy's,
slang?
Tim Hortons, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Canadian came out.
They put poutine in it, right?
I have a few friends from Canada, so I've heard the name Tim Hortons before. I just wanted to know if it was the same thing.
But Timmy's became so bad. I contact my parents every so often. It's like we don't go there for coffee anymore. We go to
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Everyone I know, that like my Canadian friends, they all say Timmy's is bad now. I wonder.
They changed
Like,
brands and everything got cheaper and more trashy, and it's just not good anymore
wow, that's a first world problem right there.
for Canadians.
You
You want to
know,
hear about my first world problem?
but did they put poutine in it, Blib?
Oh, I miss poutine.
I actually think Americans and Canadians are switching spots. Because Americans want to leave the country because they're tired of our government, and all the Canadians that I know are coming to America.
Yeah.
Maybe that's anecdotal, but I know multiple Canadians that they got money, and the second they got money, they got the F out of Canada.
I mean, I got out of there as soon as I could.
It's true. What's your
The
first world
writing's on the
problem,
wall.
Tunnel Dog?
The Quebecois takeover is coming.
The what? I'm going to need you to repeat that.
The Quebecois.
Yes, I am very
the
familiar with
French-
this.
Yeah, they're it's the takeover. All the non-Quebecoian Canadians are leaving.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Really?
rule Canada with an iron baguette.
What?
You know
Really?
about Quebec? Okay, so Quebec for a long time wanted to become like its own like sub-country, which is like the dumbest thing because it would never work. They wanted to have like their own borders and everything.
Oh, I did hear about this. Yeah.
Yes, it's the most bizarre
We're
situation.
French running the
It's the
colony.
best thing ever. 'Cause when they show up to like the national Canadian debates or whatever, right? They'll ask us like, okay, why do you think you're the best candidate to lead Canada? And they just say, listen, we only give a shit about Quebecois. We don't think we're the best candidate. We're just here so Quebecois is heard. And like it's just the funniest thing.
Really weird.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really freaking weird.
Yeah, I'm going to call Weird Champ on that.
That's hyper omega weird champ. But I'm not too surprised, honestly. But dude, going back to the Wendy's breakfast thing, that's new. Wendy's didn't always have breakfast, right?
Ah, yes, the
say.
important topic, not government. The Wendy's breakfast.
Yes.
Back on the things that
Who
matter.
cares about Quebec? They can go suck an egg.
Wait, but like, right? I'm not memeing, right?
No, that's like a recent year or two thing.
Because I
I mean,
remember
every fast food place does now.
because I remember the first time I had Wendy's breakfast was in an airport in it was JFK. No, actually, it was an airport in Florida. An airport in Florida. That was the first time I had Wendy's breakfast, and that was before they started like giving it like the normal like like the street vendors for Wendy's. Like they didn't have breakfast. They opened like at 11 a.m. and I don't know who's going to Wendy's at like no actually 10. Who's going to Wendy's at like 10 in the morning to get like a fucking baconator? Who?
But real talk.
No
People
one.
wake up at like 5 in
potato.
the morning.
Well, the only thing about airports, you have to remember airports are kind of like diners. There's a reason why diners are open 24/7 and you can walk into a diner at 4 a.m. and get a burger. It's because they're not meant to serve me and you. They're meant to serve like truckers and people on the road. Airports are meant to serve people who are traveling. So, maybe you're jet lagged. You came from a country where it was just morning and like your stomach internal clock is on dinner time. So you're like, I want a burger.
Well, when it comes to that, you're
That's
losing
true.
money for every hour you're not open as a fast food restaurant in America because there's just constantly people moving around, right? Like you said, truckers.
That's true. And earlier you said, oh, I know America's wants to do better with like healthier foods, healthier options, but McDonald's said, "Yo, f the salads. We're not selling salads anymore."
Dude.
They took out the
Can we talk
dude.
about that?
They
had
took out the
Hey.
breakfast
Fire
bagel,
so
the breakfast
good.
bagel sandwich. They
And
took it
the-
out.
The little snack wraps with the oh my
Yes,
god.
the little
Right.
snack wraps with the
Yeah.
chicken.
Chicken sandwich.
earlier.
Oh my
They took
God.
anything. They took most of the chicken stuff off the menu. The
So
buttermilk
stupid.
The chicken
sandwich.
tenders.
When he wanted to get his coffee, we were like, get like a chicken wrap or something. I don't even know if they have that anymore.
They don't. They don't
Dude,
have it.
the apple pecan salad.
No,
was
I
so
know.
I like the
good.
Southwestern salad or whatever it was called. That was so good. They had it like 2 years ago. It's when COVID popped up.
Such a bizarre.
Yep,
thing
everything
to
just
get
went
rid of.
away. Everything went away when unfortunate. But the breakfast bagel was really good.
They know their demographic. That's just what it is.
You know,
They
there's a
just know that
petition.
no one's ordering the
There's an
salad.
actual petition to
Yes,
like bring
there's
the bagel
petition,
back.
yes.
That's actually you can literally go Google
I
it.
signed it.
Josh
signed
put
yes.
it in my Discord. He tried to get us all to sign it. He was like, sign
I
this,
was
want
linking
the
it,
bagel
bro.
back.
I'm telling you, I'm a bagel advocate. Get it back on the menu.
It's so
Well, you're from
good.
Just
New,
make it a
you're, from, you're in
seasonal
New
thing.
Jersey. That obviously you're a bagel advocate.
Yeah, that's true. Do you care about
There's-
bagel
no.
stuff?
Do I? Yeah, I will. My family's from up north, and actually, my dad wants to open a bagel shop down here. He said it multiple times. He's got extra money, and he just wants to like open up a bad New York bagel style like deli place. Just do all the
That'd
stuff
be
that
so
they do in a
good.
bodega.
That
We
would,
don't have stuff like that down here. Like that's the one thing
That would work.
Like in New York, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to a bodega and I'm gonna ask for a sandwich. Like you can't do that here. Like the closest thing to that we have is Wawa.
dude,
Like, I-
on every other corner, there's a bodega that you can get like the nicest sandwich you'll ever have in your life, the
exactly.
best
Like, let me
like
get a-
breakfast roll you'll ever have.
Yep. They all have like nice bagels, nice sandwiches, nice sandwich bread, and they'll make it on a flat top right in front of you because they usually have it
You're
right
making me
behind the counter.
hungry. Oh,
Yep,
How do you guys get your coffee?
black.
I don't drink coffee. I can't sleep as it is.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't actually drink coffee. I get
need
it
a lot of
black.
milk in my coffee, but and a bit of sugar because I got a huge sweet tooth.
Usually black, but today I got it like straight black, no sugar. But today, I was like, I'm gonna get one from Dunkin'. I got the white chocolate thing, and honestly, it wasn't
Did you
sweet.
get the latte, the
No,
special
no,
one?
no, no. I just got like a normal. I got
Yeah.
the dark roast. I got the dark roast coffee.
Dude, lattes are a ripoff.
Yeah, no,
Like
screw
they're
the
actually
latte.
a ripoff. People don't realize like they sell these signature lattes, right? They're like $1.50 more expensive than everything else because they have whipped cream. But like lattes, like the only difference between a latte and a regular coffee is that the latte is milk base,
Yeah,
right? And then with like just espresso shots, you're way better off just getting a coffee and then adding milk to it.
Yeah, but
I made a
if
secret to a good coffee.
if I'm gonna
that you
get
a black
fancy like
coffee.
that
Oh.
at all, I'm gonna get a macchiato. Like
But that's also just like espresso.
I know, but it's you could have like I like because is that way macchiato is where like on the top it's sweet, on the bottom it's bitter, right?
Yeah, it's like separated because
Yeah.
I
And
used to
I
hate
like-
making those.
I like that. I'd rather have it like that. That way, like I don't know.
Well, it's
it's
assuming they
it's
make it
different.
right.
When
Dude, I
I've
got
gotten it, they made it
coffee
right.
tonight. I'm so upset. So I did the thing right where I got like a hot coffee, add milk, add peppermint mocha, add a shot of espresso, right?
Yeah.
And the guy gives it to me, and he's like, "Hey, oh, do you want like a little sticker for that, or like a poker, like the little like tab that you put in the top
Yeah.
to keep it hot?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah," because when there's milk in it, right, it gets colder quicker, so that tab is really really nice.
That's why
And
they
he
put
hands me
one
the
in.
tab, and the cup just explodes all over my car, right? And I'm like, "Can I get some napkins?" And this dude, he's already turned his back. He's just flirting with the female employee there, and I'm just sitting there like burning. And now I got
That's a whole conversation in itself. The crappy cups from like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, now I got like mocha all over the place, which would be fine normally if it's just coffee, but it's milk. So like in like a week, that's gonna smell. And I'm not
You're
cleaning
not the
that.
first person to tell me about the Dunkin' Donuts cups exploding on them.
I've never seen
It's
that.
the worst.
That's
bad.
funny though. I didn't know they put a little like tab thing in it. For the first time,
Yeah, they're so nice.
when I got it, it's like the little brown like little tab thing. They put it in. And I was
Yeah.
like, "What is this thing?" I pulled it out. I was like,
keeps
"Oh."
it hot,
yeah.
keeps it from spilling. I'm like, wow, dude, that would have been great, 5 seconds ago
The
before
best
you
part
handed
of-
me the cup.
The best part about that And this is the last thing, like we should probably move on. But then the funny thing about that is the plastic, right? It's plastic, so it's leaching. It's because all that steam, right? So the plastic is melting a little bit.
paper.
And it's leaching. It's
yeah.
leaching into the coffee, and this
That's a
really
little bit of
contributes
a-
to the whole statistic that the average human being consumes like
Oh.
a firefighter's helmet worth of plastic every year.
A firefighter's helmet.
Yeah.
Where did they
That's true,
get
'cause
that
it sounds real.
ratio?
That's an incredible
from?
metric and a way to measure that. It's a
measuring
firefighter's
the amount of
helmet.
Plastic in a diet with red fire hats.
That's what I was thinking.
Delicious.
A firefighter's helmet worth.
How much milk should I put in this cake? About half a firefighter's helmet.
Yeah. The new measuring amount.
Just put 2 shots of
Quarter
vodka.
firefighter's helmet of eggs.
I saw the
I like
study.
Eighth of
you know,
sugar.
like the measuring cups, and then in the drawer next to the measuring cups is just a hat turned over.
Firefighter's
And it's
helmet.
got the same measuring marks on the measuring cups, like the liters number is, and the amount that you,
You
can
know-
put in at what side.
You know
But
who
it
has the
still has, like, the
wackiest
straps and
measurements?
everything.
The
What?
wackiest measurements come from those the news channels when they're doing like storm watch things, right? And they have these like crazy like graphics around them, right? And they're like, the water is gonna go 6 Toyota Camrys high, and they'll just show like 6 Toyota Camrys
Stacked on top of each
That's what
other.
they do.
Yeah.
That's such
Oh,
a weird
man.
metric, dude. Wait, Josh, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I saw the study about the firefighter helmet from I don't even know where.
I know. I don't know
But,
why it's in my head that this stuck. Like I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember where I saw it, but I remember hearing it.
Okay,
Start measuring things in cars. That's a great idea.
but now, no, bear with me. Turtle duck tattoos. What's your opinion on that?
Oh boy.
You know, turtle
My
duck from
opinion on
Avatar, The Last
tattoos?
Airbender. You know. Would you
You
get that
asking for my
tattooed on
opinion on
yourself?
tattoos?
Yeah. Would you? No. The turtle duck in general. Would you get that tattooed on your body?
Listen, you know, I'm a strong follower of Christ, and I believe that you know,
Marking our bodies
modifying
is a
your body in any way is a sin.
Really?
Yeah, which is why I'm going straight to hell, baby.
Huh. Well, evolution. How do you feel about what he just said? Evolution. Wait, evolution's not here, huh?
No, is that me? I'm sorry, I forgot my name was Evolution.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, your name's Mad Myth.
That was Red Foo.
Wait. What? No.
Who's this imposter?
My name is Roomba.
He's Turkish, right?
Yes, I'm actually a Turkish rebel.
Yeah. I mean, you're fighting the cause that you believe in, and that's fine. You know, to
Turkish
each
as
their
in, like
own.
an aspect of a turkey.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. Correct. Yeah.
He's a
Like I'm a
rebellious
turkey rebelling against the idea of Thanksgiving. Yes.
Ah, so what do you think about
Not
turtle
against
ducks
Netanyahu
then?
or
As a
anything like
turkey?
that going on in Istanbul. I'm absolutely talking about turkeys, like the birds.
What's the weirdest thing you guys would get tattooed on your body? You actually would. It was free. Like, you could get it tattooed. It's free.
I don't think it would be weird, but probably a Fallout tattoo like the bobblehead. I don't
Just
think
gonna
it's
be
that's
76
weird. I
on
mean,
your back.
fuck no, 76.
That's the best one.
I want to
Both
get
my
the hearts from the Legend of Zelda somewhere on my body.
Oh,
Oh,
that
that's a good one.
that's actually sick.
I thought you
Never
said hearts
played that.
from Kingdom Hearts because those have some crazy cool designs.
Both of my tattoos were actually free because it was a friend from high school practicing on me, like at her tattoo shop, because she had to practice on people she knew before she was allowed to do it on people she didn't know.
You have to
So
have
I
a
just
certain
have
amount of
to-
hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just have the turtle duck, and then I have the Animal Crossing New Leaf logo.
Oh, that's sick.
Aw, that's cute.
I like I said before the podcast, like I wanted the from Full Metal Alchemist the the homunculus, yeah, the homunculus tattoo, which is the Ouroboros, right?
Yeah, I think that's the snake eating itself.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
that's cool.
I
That's
just-
just a cool design.
I thought it was cool, yeah, but I've seen it, like I've googled it, and man, it's kind of like it. I don't know, it kind of made me not want to do it because people have it and it looks so cringe on them. Like I don't want to get it and then be, haha, look what I have. I want to get it and then if someone sees it, it's like okay, cool, but like, I'm not gonna flaunt it. It's kind of weird.
The best tattoo is one that means something a lot to you, right? But still, like if somebody knew nothing about it, they could still be like, okay, that looks pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree.
The one tattoo that I have on my forearm, it's supposed to be of like I told the like the tattoo artist, I wanted like the Atlas holding up the world. I'm pretty sure like you guys know what I'm talking about. But like I found a really cool design that I liked, and he tattooed it on me. And when like I think I got it when I was 18. I'm 23 now. People always think it's a crab, and I don't know if I should feel embarrassed or I don't really mind. People say it looks like a crab.
How?
How?
do those two
I
things-
don't know. People say it looks like I had one girl tell me that it looked like a crab, but then I showed them it, and I mean, when I really pointed out and they let them see the tattoo, they see the glow being held up. Yeah, but
I mean, as
It's a crab holding up
as
the
long as,
world.
I don't know. I feel like as long as you like it,
Crab
who
rave.
cares what anyone thinks, right?
yeah, that's true. That's true too.
So I had that mentality. The one tattoo that I probably am more than likely going to get is just like a TV on me, like one of those old like TV boxes. It's gonna be kind of small, maybe on my back or
Oh.
something, like like the old like TV with the antennas on it
Very
and stuff
retro.
like that.
Very
Yeah,
retro.
Yeah, and it'll be like an all black screen, like with one of those like the lines going through the TV, like it's
Yeah.
kind of like staticky, and at the bottom it's just gonna say you're gonna carry that weight, which is one of the quotes from the endings of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Wow. See, you thought this out. You got like, damn.
Like he said, it's got to be something with meaning and something that matters to you. And if it doesn't matter to you, then why are you going to get it put on you
Also has to
forever?
be unique.
Yeah. Okay. Where would you guys get a tattoo on your wrist, like on the bottom of your forearm?
No.
No.
No, 'cause your arms get marked a lot. Anything on
depends,
your
what
arm
is
is going
it?
to get destroyed.
Yeah, my wrists aren't thick enough, I feel like.
You just got to think about how much your arms touch stuff. Like I put my
Yeah.
wrist on my table when I'm playing games. That's just you think about how much of it. And also, it's probably one of the hardest places to hide. You basically are if you are at a place where you have to cover your tattoos, you're basically long sleeve forever.
What do you think of people from like early 2000s? They got all those tribal tattoos on their arms.
Personally, I think tattoos are meant to be like super original and meant, like you said, it's got to be something that matters to you. So if you're just like, bro, I'm gonna get the sick tribal tat, it's gonna be totally
God.
rad. To me, that's cringe. You're just
Wait.
doing it to you're putting
Those are
ink on your
so
body for the
horrible.
purpose
Here's
of
the
putting
question
ink.
though. Is that better or worse than the flames tattoo? Like the one that people got a decal.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That is such a gross tattoo.
That's
The
not
hot rod
good.
flames.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Cringe.
awful.
That's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'd take a tribal tattoo any day.
See, that's the
over
thing with
that.
tattoos,
Oh,
though. You
boy.
don't just go like half a foot, and you gotta go like neck deep into it and like neck deep into it, and then get like a gigantic koi, like a dragon koi fish on your back, like
So the
flowing
idea
out
of,
of the
like-
water, like you're like an ex Yakuza member.
Yeah.
Man, that's so good.
It
But
is.
they would never let you anywhere in Japan if they see that.
While we're on that topic, I do just want to say that exact thing is one of my favorite scenes in any video games. From when they showed the predecessor in Yakuza 0 to all the other games, and Kiryu doesn't have his tattoo filled in on his back because it's
Oh,
supposed to be a
yeah.
prequel. So instead of him having the full dragon tattooed on his back, it's just stenciled and it hasn't been shaded in yet.
Mhm.
Oh,
I love that. That's so
That's
awesome.
a cool idea.
I watched the interesting. I think I linked it to you, Sev. The guy who made the Yakuza game. He's talking about like where he got his influence from for the game, and then right after that, there's another interview where they actually take like a Yakuza guy and they like ask him questions. Dude, the Yakuza guys, like actual real like legit Yakuza guys, they're actually so like respectful. Like it's actually crazy respectful. Like where
the culture.
they ask them like certain questions, right? Like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel? Do you think this is realistic? Do you think, instead of saying something is like, no, that's not real. No, that would never happen. You can't do that. They'll reply with like, oh, that's interesting. That guy must be really skilled to be able to pull that off. It's like the saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the way they're wording it. They're not saying like trying to like be disrespectful. They're just like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. But they're not like being like so negative about it. They're like super respectful in like any regard. It's
When they
kinda
made
interesting.
the first Yakuza games, they took it over to Japan and let actual Yakuza play them, and they said, and that was how they got the opinion for the game. They loved it. That's why there's a warning in all of the beginning of the Yakuza games saying like, oh yeah, wink, wink. These are definitely not made with the ideas of real people. Wink, wink. These are completely fictional people. Wink, wink. Like they're like, well, no, these are
Yeah,
not.
they made that game, so it's like in Japan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen the guy who makes it too? He looks like a rock star. Like actually like a Japanese rock star.
He's actually hilarious too because I thought that the last Smash Bros character was going to be Ichiban from the newest Yakuza game. I thought it so much just because the reason why they didn't put Kiryu in Smash Bros is because the guy who made the original Yakuza games and created Kiryu's character said that he didn't want him depicted as beating up women. And that's the only reason why Kiryu wasn't in Smash Bros. Because he didn't want Kiryu like out here decking Daisy and punching Peach and stuff like that.
He won't beat up women, but Mario will. See, what does that say?
Exactly. But if you play the Yakuza games, Kiryu is kind of like a simp in a white knight. He really does just like help everybody on the street for no reason. Like that's where you get the side quest from. It's like you walk by a lady getting mugged. And then you go to and then she's actually the mugger or whatever, and the story will take like a weird turn, but he is definitely a white Jackson.
Yeah, no,
that is so funny. That quest is so funny. Miracle Johnson, I think his name was, or something like that.
It was something ridiculous.
I still think Mr. Libido is like the best character from the Yakuza series.
Mr. Libido.
Yes.
It's so funny. The dance that he does. The Libido emote on Better Twitch TV where it's just him humping the air is the best emote on the entire thing.
Naked guy in his underwear and just starts dancing randomly. I know, I've seen those clips.
It's so good, dude.
Mr. Libido? And there's no way.
And it's funny speaking about him because that's like probably such a good transition into D&D. Moon had a character called Scrumpo, and it was literally that guy. It started off like he didn't have art for it, right? He literally just used like Mr. Libido as his art for his little gnome character.
Everyone else had art for their characters. Like their characters were like serious or someone drew them or something like that. And Moon's character was just straight up a close up of Mr. Libido. Like, and he had the stupid voice. He talks like this.
Yes, and he went full like ball. He went full on with the meme. Like his character was like naked, wearing a fundoshi and everything. That's his character.
Did you see the GTA RP character he did called the Shadow Lord? And he was basically role playing as like one of those like dungeon sweaty nerds with like acne on his face. And he's like, "I'm the Shadow Lord.
I love it.
Roll a D20."
He was doing that with Glory. There's a guy in the GTRP thing, Glorion. His name on Twitch, I think, is Garrick. And that was when GTRP, when they were doing No Pixel. He was that guy Glorion. They were just playing D&D in like the GTA RP world. Like their characters were just like nerds playing D&D.
They have a whole group of them.
I love that.
They have a whole group of them running around.
And there's Soda Poppin's character convinced them to kill somebody because he told them it was a quest and they were going on a dragon and the movie had to come arrest them.
Yes, Kevin Whippaloo.
That shit was so funny.
Kevin Whippaloo, that was his name.
Yeah,
the manager at the burger shop.
Yes.
Bro, GTRP is so good, and it just revolves back around to the point that GTA could be so cool if Rockstar even cared a little bit about the community that actually plays their game.
Mod and everything constantly.
No, they just want to add shark cards and make things like a $10,000 car in real life that you could buy in GTA. That's add 2 more zeros at least 2 more zeros to the price tag.
Yeah, I mean, in their defense, though, like they could just shut down like No Pixel or those other servers, like just like with a snap of their fingers. But at least they're like letting
Rockstar
that.
Doesn't care though. Did you see what happened with the ports of the game?
It's also such good publicity for them too.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The ports were a disaster.
Oh yeah, I heard a whole bunch of stuff like the freaking ports are really bad.
Yeah, they just ported like GTA San Andreas and all those recently, and they all came out really buggy and really ugly.
I saw a thing that it's not even like a PS2 port or whatever. It's literally a port of the mobile version of the game.
What?
To
Is that
PC.
what it is? Oh man.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's a train wreck. It's really bad.
There's a lot of really compilations you can find on YouTube of like stretched out fingers and T-posing. It's really good.
And then people want to talk bad about Cyberpunk. Feels weird, man.
Are they still fixing that game? What happened with that?
It's nominated for Game of the Year or something like that.
Shut up.
It is. Go,
That's
hold
not
on,
real.
I'm
I
googling
will
it.
leave the call. No, I know it's nominated, but
Cyberpunk.
like it, it's obvious. Like we all know those award shows are shams. Like
Yeah, I love that's like when the lawn mowing simulator gets Game of the Year nominated.
like these journalists put out articles about Game of the Year games before they even come out. Like New World MMO of the Year.
Nope.
I don't know. My first playthrough of Cyberpunk. I genuinely enjoyed. I didn't have the game breaking issues that everybody else did, and I thought it was a pretty fun game. The customization, it was just like very hyped up, and the customization was a huge letdown in my opinion.
The problem with
Oh.
the game was the marketing for the most part because it came out too
Yeah.
soon, was rushed too fast, and
To-
didn't give enough
To
funding.
be fair, Cyberpunk's nominated for Best Music Score.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is also a sham too, because I mean,
It's
like
not
Final
gonna be
Fantasy
near.
14 never even got nominated,
Mhm.
like for their scores.
And Best Role Playing. XD.
It's only AAA games. AAA games are the ones that get nominated for that shit. It doesn't matter if the game's a train wreck or whatever. Like, it's just
I guess
it's
that's
all
the business model. It's not
Have you
real.
seen games like the Game of the Year nominations? It's like it's Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. I'd honestly say out of like all those that I just said, It Takes Two is innovative because it's like that prison game, the one where like you're escaping from the prison. It's like a co-op game.
Takes Two, is that when like the parents get turned into dolls? Is that the one?
Wait, isn't It Takes Two? That's the like the platformer,
co-op
right?
game where you're like yarn.
they're like
Yeah.
it's basically a marriage counseling simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a good quote where it's like, oh, your
Oh.
complicated problems can be solved by being toys for a day.
That's a fair. I think It Takes Two deserves it. Deathloop. I never played it, so I can't give Deathloop.
Really like. I wanted to talk about that. Like, I don't know if anybody here played it, but it's probably the best game I've played all
It
year.
looks fun. It looks like
looks-
Halo with like
yeah.
portal guns.
It's Dishonored, but like the people who made it, Arcane Studios that made Dishonored, it's really really good. I don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't played it, I would really recommend playing it. Super fun game, and
Oh,
the
did you end up liking
replayability.
that?
Which
Deathloop.
The Deathloop.
yeah, Deathloop. Yeah, Deathloop was really really fun. I told you about it. Like I remember telling you and Moses about it. Really really fun game.
Oh yeah, Moses was like, I think it's bad, and we're looking at reviews, and people were trash talking the game. And we talked to you, you were like, I love this game.
Yeah.
Because like it's not like any other. I don't remember exactly what movie it's like, but there's a movie like that. Basically, without spoiling the game, every day you're stuck on an island. You play as some guy named Colt, and you're stuck on an island, and you're trying to figure out why you're on that island, and you have a full day to figure out and break the loop. Is like the motto of the game, and it's just every day is different, but you figure out more and more as the day goes on. But really really fun game, and I recommend it.
Oh, I was thinking of a completely different game.
Yeah. No, I think.
The
Sorry. No. Go on.
No, have you seen that game though? The game where it's like Halo but with portal guns. What is that called?
Splitgate.
Oh,
Splitgate.
Yeah, that's what I
Splitgate.
was thinking of.
The game
I've heard of
looks
that too.
really fun.
That game's innovative. As, like I'm not gonna lie, that game's really cool. There's like so much advanced tech to that game. Like put a portal behind someone and then like stay on the other side of the map and shoot through the portal, snipe them through the portal. You could do like so many advanced like
The idea
portal
of
tech.
making your own like sniper's nest from the ground is really cool.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I think Deathloop deserves that. It takes two, sure. Metroid Dread. It's funny enough. Like I love Metroid, the Metroid series, but I never played
That
Metroid
game's
Dread.
really meh.
People
I don't
were
know if
hating
it's
on that
good.
so much though, just because it was a $60 game that's basically a side scroller. That game got a lot of
Really?
I played through Dread, and I'll be honest, it's okay. I got it for free. I'm not gonna say how,
Okay.
but
Yeah, I get it. I get
I
it.
played through that
Wink,
game.
wink.
I beat it in 7 hours, and I'm like, this is a $60 game, huh? And the idea is that you're supposed to keep playing it, but there's no real sense of replayability for me because it's like they give you most of the tools immediately. You're sliding, you free aim, you run, and then you do that, and now it's like, okay, now you can move through water easier, which is not much of an upgrade because moving through water was a downgrade to your movement. There's not a lot to that game.
Is there? Can you like
Aye.
and like in the other games? Can you like break the what's
It's
it
like you
called?
get access to more stuff.
Can
like
you go out
break
of
certain
order?
walls.
Can you go out of order and like get stuff? You know?
There was
Good speedruns can. You can like sequence break in the
Yeah, that's what I
some of the
meant, yeah.
speedruns really in like really fun ways. Watching the speedruns is fun, but I'm not sure what's there for everyone else other than like a good way to kill like 15 hours if you want to collect everything.
the guy who made Metal Gear Solid had like a really big rant. It was so cringe, but it was so like he
Kojima?
was screaming. Yeah, because he was streaming it. He was playing the game on Twitch, and basically the guys were there was an epic or a level where one of the levels you had to break a block, and the exit was hidden behind the block. And when someone told him that that's how he gets out of the level, he just like lost it and started raging about how the game has such poor design and it's such like poor level design and it's amateurish at best. And he was just flaming Nintendo so hard.
Is that where that meme came from?
That's so
I know
weird
that.
though, because if it has he played the other Metroid? Not like really defining the
No,
game,
that's what-
but
that's
that's like
what I was
part of the
saying.
game. Like
It's
that's-
not like it was definitely cringe. Like him doing it was cringe, but it was just for you don't usually see game developers call each other out like that. It's kind of like a fraternity. They really are like kind of like an umbrella. They don't criticize each other like that. And he was just like going all out. And he's a big video game developer. Like you can't. And when you put your name on it like that, when you like it's gonna get around. And yeah, like he said, it became a pretty big meme on the internet.
That game's
Yeah.
just a $60 like time killer. I don't see the real content behind it other than nostalgia, which it doesn't really. That's all it is.
that's fair. I think
I have a cousin who married into my family, and he put video games. He's older, he's like 35, and he still plays games with his kids. And so he plays like when Breath of the Wild came out, he played it with his kids and stuff like that. He's still a kid at heart. He wants to play games. And he said that the way that he looks at the value of buying a video game is that he used to bring $5 to the arcade in quarters when he used to go play games. And that $5 would last him like an hour or two. So to him, if he can play a game for an hour or two, 6 or 7 times, that's a $60 value for him. Like he thinks that's worth it to him. If he can play a game a few times and I can get 30 or 40 hours out of this game, then if I can get close to my money's worth out of it, it's no different than how it used to be when I used to go to the arcade and spend money on the arcade machines, which honestly probably was a bigger waste of money because you didn't get to own the games.
yeah,
That's the
true.
idea, right? Like, would you pay $60 for a game that has 100 hours of content, but you struggle to find the fun in it, or pay $60 for a game that you have like 10 hours of content, but you like play through it and have a good time throughout the whole thing?
So 2 games I would put that title on are RimWorld and Stellaris. RimWorld and Stellaris are incredible games that are just like so in depth. You can play the game hundreds of times and never once have the same playthrough. You can start 100 RimWorld colonies and 100 different races on Stellaris and never have the game play out the same way. With all of the DLC, I mean, RimWorld is usually a $40 to $60 game, and with the DLCs, it's probably like $120 value. Stellaris, there's so many DLC, it's like The Sims. You can end up with a $200 game if you buy all of the DLC. Is it worth it to spend like $150 on a game that you love, that you know you're going to get 100 hours out of because you're just like, or you just spend $60 on a game you know you're going to like and you're going to play once? Personally, I think if you're going to get 100 hours out of the game, like if you're really going to play RimWorld that much and love it, what's it going to hurt to spend the $100 and to get the DLC and make sure you're going to get all of the content out of it that you can?
No, that's I think that's true too. Like if I can get like 40 hours out of a game, even if it was like a $60 game, it's worth it. But there's a lot of games where I don't know, I play it and then it just doesn't hook me in, and then I feel bad that I spent money on it.
Exactly.
And it's not like they're bad games either. Like Resident Evil Village, I bought it and I still haven't beaten it. It's not that I don't want to, it's just I see it and it's like, do I want to go and like invest myself right now? I'll do it later.
Some games like that are more fun to watch because you're into the story. I watched a playthrough of Resident Evil Village. I wasn't going to play it, but I liked
played it.
watching it.
I played
It
it.
looked
Very
fun.
fun.
Don't
the
spoil
story
it.
was cool. The story was really good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it. The story was really good, and it follows the other story, where the
Man.
one where you were stuck in the house, and
Yes.
that game
Yes.
resurrected the Resident Evil
Yeah.
franchise, because Resident Evil used to be scary. Like that was the whole point. Like they had those really creepy camera views in Resident Evil 1 and 2 because you weren't supposed to be able to turn the camera. They didn't want you to see the jump scare coming. And as the games got older, like Resident Evil 3, 4, or 5, the game became more about like a shooter. It became more about like an RPG kind of game, like level to level, picking up different guns, like that.
It became more action based.
Yes, exactly.
From
And
horror,
with
like
the
survival horror,
with
to action,
with Biohazard
Yeah.
and Village, it felt like it went back to its roots a little bit, going back to a horror genre, like it was meant to be scary.
I felt like Biohazard had the perfect mix because it gave you, that opportunity to just wreck everything and just go wild and start shooting shit, but it still had those scary moments where it felt like, okay, like I can fight back, but I'm not that strong. Like I'm still scared of everything.
When the demo for Resident Evil came out and you woke up in the room with the TV on and you put the tape in and stuff like that, and then you walked outside, and when you walked by, you saw the dude with the axe walk by the doorway, and then as soon as you come out of the doorway, he's gone. Like that, little things like that are just like, it's intense and it's scary, and they just did a really good job of setting the mood for the game. It felt like a Resident Evil game, and I think that Village did a good job of building on top of that. That game could have been a really big flop.
Yeah, they took it back to its roots.
Polish of like Biohazard for sure. Like Biohazard went back to the horror, like you said, and I think that was a good move. Because like, have you noticed that it's like every 2 games they change how the game kind of functions? It seems like that. Like the first 2 games was like, okay, we're gonna have fixed cameras and the game's gonna function like this.
Really
And then
weird
we
with the
went-
doorways, like the doors.
Yeah. And then we had 3, but then like 4 or 5 went to like a more action, like third person view, right?
And
Which is funny because 4 and 5 are like, people say Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games of all time.
But there
Yeah.
were 3 games, I mean. The first 3 games were like fixed camera, and then the next 3 games were over the shoulder, right?
yeah, I thought 6 was really weird, but I still enjoyed playing it. I thought 6 was really
It's a
weird
really fun
though.
co-op game.
5 was fun co-op. I wouldn't say playing by yourself, but 5 with like someone to just sit there and play with the whole thing with you on like the hardest difficulty. It was pretty freaking fun.
Out of
And 4 is 4.
out of all of the games that you had on that list for Game of the Year, the only one of them that I like legitimately that I played was Psychonauts.
Yeah, I knew it.
Psychonauts was so fun, but and the other games, like I had 2 friends that played It Takes Two. It just didn't seem like my kind of game. Like none of those other games really reached out and grabbed me like, oh, you should play this game. I have a PS5, but I just don't know. I don't feel like going out and spending money on a Ratchet and Clank game.
What do they have listed for best ongoing?
But
Sorry.
Psychonauts 2 was just really fun. And if you played Psychonauts 1, if you've ever written a story or read a story, it's really hard to just pick something up after like, oh yeah, I'm going to walk away from this for a few months and then just pick up where I left off. That game came out when I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
I played Psychonauts 1 on the original Xbox, and they made a sequel like almost 20 years later, and it's good. It plays the exact same. The graphics are great. The transitions are so seamless. Like there are parts in the game where you have to walk through doorways, and you can walk back and forth between the doorways and just watch the scenes change. And it's so fucking cool because they did such a good job of no load time in between. Like there are load times when you go between like the big areas, but when you just walk through doorways and stuff like that to go into someone's head or to go into a different world, it just looks so good. It looks like seamless.
Yeah, let's be honest. Any game with like extensive GTA 5-esque loading screens are big no-nos. Like no one wants to sit there and stare at clouds for like 20 minutes. And
Exactly.
and they try to, maybe you should have an SSD, all this stuff. No, it doesn't even matter, dude. You can have it on an SSD. It does not matter.
I do kind of miss loading screens because like during those, you get up, you go to the bathroom or get a coffee or make a drink. Get something from the fridge. But now a lot of PS5 players are like, wow, I sit down and I play a game for like a straight 2 hours because there's no break away from the game.
Pause it.
People
There's
will,
a pause
open their-
button.
Yeah, but when you're in it, you're in it. But like before you have loading screens, you're like, oh, while it's loading, I can look at Twitter or something.
That's fair, yeah. Turtle, to answer the best ongoing, no surprise, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, Final Fantasy 14 Online, and Genshin Impact.
Oh, let's go Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy's there. I really think Final Fantasy is gonna win, but there's a high probability that Warzone could, but who knows? Because it's Activision, right?
Hey, it's
Activision,
Activision.
so probably
Yeah,
not.
but Genshin has that Chinese money. Like,
True.
Does it have influence here?
But I'm gonna be so mad if Fortnite wins.
I mean-
I'll be so angry.
isn't
I
Genshin
can
owned by
see-
Tencent or no?
Tencent, wait, MiHoYo?
Tencent- It
They own
owns
everything
League.
there. They own everything there. Oh boy.
Who owns MiHoYo?
It has to be Tencent. There's no way it's not Tencent. They have their finger in all the honeypots.
They're partners. They're partners with Tencent, but they're not owned by Tencent. That's what it says.
Because Tencent like definitely has influence.
Yep.
But I don't know if they have more influence than
Yeah, but is the Game Awards going to shell to China because that doesn't sound out of character? You've seen a video of John Cena?
John Cena having to apologize. Yeah.
yeah, for calling Taiwan a country.
That was interesting.
Can you scroll down just a little bit so I can see what best narrative is?
Yeah.
Best narrative. I know who's
There you
going to
go.
win best soundtrack. Actually, best score. And
I hate Life is Strange so much, dude. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Bro, okay, so
Holy.
listen, like I said, so I watched Moist Critical play that game, and I literally never watch him, but I watched him
Yeah.
play that game, and he said the funniest quote I think I've heard all year.
all right.
He was playing the game, and everyone kept asking him because he's got a bunch of like Shroud followers that are like, "Hey, bro, how was the game, bro? What do you think of the game, bro?" And he's like, "Oh, the game is not fun. Like the story is amazing, but the actual gameplay of the game sucks." And so he was like, "Oh, okay. Well,
That's about
if I
right.
don't want to actually play the game, I'm just gonna put it on game journalist mode." And he put it on the easiest difficulty, which is like I'm just gonna walk through. I just want the story.
I was going to
And
bring that
that
up.
is absolutely game journalist mode.
That,
Wait a minute. So
Wait, do you
it's
remember?
nominated for best score music, but isn't a bunch of copywritten music?
Wait, where? Sorry, what?
Guardians of the Galaxy, right? It's a bunch of copywritten
So
music.
yes and no, but if it was like that, Cyberpunk and what's it called wouldn't be able to do it because GTA won best score in music, and literally all their music is just music from real life.
yeah,
You still have to
and the
put
fact
together
that-
the soundtrack.
The fact that they don't have Final Fantasy 14 in best music is a crime.
I
Honestly,
noticed
Soken
that.
deserves better
I
than
mean,
these.
real talk though. Nier's gonna win. Oh, that soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I mean Nier for sure. Dude, did you hear the? Because Final Fantasy 14 had a Nier Automata crossover thing for like an
Yep.
entire raid tier. The mixes like that Soken did, like what he did with the Nier music and the Final Fantasy music, putting it together, it's so good. Like
I
it's
haven't listened
out
to
of
that
this
yet.
world.
Oh, no. Man.
He did a crossover of Prelude for Final Fantasy and Weight of the World.
Oh, okay. Now I
But
can
it's like
listen
like
to
an
that.
epic like giant orchestral piece.
Oh,
It's
boy.
so good.
What?
Yeah, the best performance, Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu. Dude, the internet is so horny, it's unreal.
Oh
It's so
my gosh,
unreal.
you're right,
Wow,
Lady D.
Oh,
How
she's
is
good.
she? How is that the best? One of the best performances of the year. Why is the internet so horny? I can't take
She's
it.
good though.
I
Oh,
heard
man.
bad things about Giancarlo's performance, in Far Cry 6, but I wouldn't know.
Bro, did
That
you watch
game
the
is so
donkey video?
That
Did you watch
game
the
is so
donkey video on it?
unnecessarily Hispanic. Like they are trying so hard to be Hispanic in that game. Like if I hear Come Me one more time in the game, I promise I'm gonna dunk my PC in the shower.
Like apparently he just took a big bag for the game for being in the game and just like dipped like advertised the out of it, and apparently he's not even in it that much.
Yeah, I heard
He's
it's like the
not.
opposite of Liam Neeson and what he did with Cyberpunk. At least in Cyberpunk, he's like in the game and he's like an integral part of the game,
You
right?
mean Keanu Reeves?
Yeah,
I was
sorry,
gonna
I don't know why I
say-
said Liam Neeson. What the?
I was so confused.
Yeah. Let me.
Liam
I know.
Neeson
Sorry,
in
dude.
Cyberpunk?
Sorry.
What?
Nah, he's
I-
busy doing classic Heinz
I'm
ads.
Dude,
a
I wanna
Keanu Reeves.
see Keanu Reeves and Taken.
Oh my.
I wanted to say this earlier, but then we got off the point of Cyberpunk. This is my rant, I guess, for the day. And Moses has heard me say this before, so I guess this is going to be regurgitated for him.
Go
The
ahead.
new age of making video games makes me so mad. That's something that I want to do. I want to be a video game developer, and The way that it used to be back in the day is that because there was no internet, there was internet, but there wasn't access to easy update games. When a game left the factory, it had to be perfect. They had like any bugs that were in the factory or that were in the game when it left the factory were just in there forever.
Yeah.
So you had to make sure that you made a good game. You had to make sure that you made a complete game.
No
Because of the-
hotfixes.
Because of the
I know what
fact
you're
that
talking about,
because now you can hotfix games, people are releasing shitty, unfinished games, and even more so because of the way like the culture of the internet. And this is really what killed Cyberpunk.
Horrible. Oh,
Honestly,
What killed Cyberpunk is the toxicity of the community of game people who want games, because any person who saw what that game looked like and know like all the stuff that was going on it, when they were like, yeah, we need more time to make it like good, like it's not running the way that we want, we're gonna push it back. Anybody worth there who has a brain cell is like, yeah, they're over their head, they need more time, the game needs more time in the oven. And
Cyberpunk was supposedly in like development for like 7 years, but it was actually like real.
quote unquote.
Dude, when I was
it
in
was
high
in development
school,
for like 3 or 4.
when I was in high school, I remember seeing the Cyberpunk trailer.
So that's bullshit though, and the reason why that's bullshit is because what it takes the majority of the time isn't building the game; it's getting the voice actors there. And
Right,
like if you like the people who make GTA said that the people like the guy who voiced Franklin in GTA said that the thing that takes the longest part in making a video game is getting all the voice actors together and then cutting the voices up and making a script out of it. That's why GTA 6, he said, could have been made in 2 years, but it's going to take like 5 because they have to get all the voice actors and everything. Putting Keanu Reeves in the game obviously it's why there's a good reason why they did it, but it puts a huge bump in the road in the creation process, especially when voice acting is already the hardest thing. Now we're going to allocate funds and all these different things to a celebrity. We're going to have to find a way to push it. If it was originally, he was just supposed to be a part of the game. Then he's like, oh no, I want to be a big part of the game. So then they're like, okay, well now we have to change stuff. That game needed way more time in the oven, and CD Projekt Red couldn't delay it again because everyone would have canceled their pre-orders. And because of that, you got a shit game because you couldn't wait. It's literally it's why I don't care about waiting for GTA 6, because if Rockstar's going to release another GTA 5, I'm okay with that. If they're going to release another great game that can live for 5 years, I'm okay with waiting 2 or 3 years extra for a good game to come out, rather than someone push the shit as hard as they can so that we can get a mildew version of what you thought your game was going to be, which is what happened with Cyberpunk.
I'm sure you're making great points, but all I can think about right now is Keanu Reeves instead of Liam Neeson in Taken.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Samurai.
Did they confirm the next
looking for a
Keanu
ransom?
Reeves movie? What the heck are those called?
Matrix
again?
4,
John
Matrix
Wick.
Revolution.
John Wick.
Wick.
John Wick.
They killed my dog.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai. I can tell you, I have a very
Can we
particular
talk about
set of
Matrix
skills.
real quick?
The Matrix.
Yo, imagine Liam Neeson in Matrix.
He can't do anything anymore. He's too old.
He
He
could.
doesn't need to. He's in the Matrix. You can do anything.
Yeah, you can just tell Alexa to do it.
CG him to be doing like karate flips.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be funny.
Holy
Actually, I'd
shit,
like to see
dude.
that. Wait. He should be Smith, the little clone guy, the AI.
All I can
Chasing
think about when I hear Liam Neeson is that one clip of him when he's talking about how female actresses and male actors should be paid the same. He's like, I think it's a travesty that female actresses don't get paid the amount that male actors do. And the guy goes, oh, so you'd be willing to take a pay cut so that your female co-host could, or your co-actress could get the same amount of pay? He's like, pay cut? Oh, no. no, a pay cut? No, absolutely not. I believe that she can pay, but me take less money? Absolutely not.
Yeah. That sounds about
Not
right.
wrong though. I mean, all for equality, but don't take my money.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't
Exactly.
be-
He's like, oh yeah, I love women, but no, you're not taking my money. Absolutely not.
Not do you smell? Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
speaking of movie budgets, like every Adam Sandler movie is just a giant scheme.
Came up again. Oh man.
Like the budgets for Adam Sandler movies are in like the millions,
No.
like on a scale of like massive like CGI masterpieces. But then they have the actual cost of making the movie
Yeah,
down
it's-
super low, and they just pocket the rest of the money.
Yeah. He uses making movies as like a vacation now. He'll be like, okay, we're gonna go
Yeah.
to Australia to record. I'm gonna take my family and then have a vacation. That's how he functions now. It's amazing.
Honestly, it's genius.
It's the perfect way to live.
You
What a
know,
king.
the most ironic thing I've read on the best awards list and whatever, best multiplayer, New World. Interesting. Very.
That was
Only
the term for
multiplayer.
the game even released. Let's be real.
Yeah.
To be fair, It Takes Two isn't multiplayer. It's literally co-op.
Yeah, I
and
know.
And Knockout City is on
Yeah,
the list
the,
as
the-
well.
the saddest part about it is New World might actually win. It has a good chance of winning. Look at all the other
Absolutely.
games
Look at
on
the-
there.
The only other game on there that could win is Back 4 Blood or Monster Hunter, and
Wait, for
Monster
best
Hunter is
multiplayer?
Monster
Yes.
Hunter.
Did they not have Final Fantasy on
Nope,
there?
it's not on
Is it
there.
Rise or World?
Wait,
Which one?
Valheim as a multiplayer?
Yeah,
Like you can play that game.
I don't
You know it's
understand.
completely rigged. It's set up so New World can win. They
The-
literally did that on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, bro.
It's a scam.
Oh, I
It's
see
like,
what you're talking about. Hold
How
on.
is Starfield on the most anticipated? We
Dude.
haven't seen a single thing in the game besides the title. They literally
Yeah.
were like, "Hey, the name of the game is Starfield." Everyone's like,
We've gotten more from the league.
Going on.
no Halo, no Call of Duty, no Final Fantasy, like no actual multiplayer games. They do a co-op game, like
Knockout
Co-op
City.
game, Monster Hunter, and Knockout City.
like Knockout. Don't get me wrong, Knockout City is fun.
It
but
is.
Obviously, it's not on like the scale of like a game.
No.
Like Final
But
Fantasy. It's not in the
Valheim?
same. Yeah.
Why is Valheim in there? I don't know a single person that played Valheim with people. Everybody I know
I
is like,
did.
yeah, I played it by myself.
I played it. We had a
wow.
big-
Are you bragging about having
dedicated
friends?
server. You know, had a real nice world. Maybe I'll show you it later. you know?
Wow.
No, but in all seriousness, Valheim was really fun. It's just the thing that killed that game was lack of updates. It took them like a whole year
Oh, yeah.
to release one update, but if you look at the roadmap, there was supposed to be like 4 updates this year, and the game is like the size of like a flash drive from like 2005. Like
Yeah.
it's. I don't understand, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not a game developer, so it's like biased for me to say it. But I just can't imagine it takes that long. And then I just hate how everyone's using the excuse, well, the pandemic, well, quarantine, well,
Hey, wasn't
like,
Valheim made by a single guy though?
no, it was
I could be wrong.
no
but-
Iron Gate
No, I'm pretty sure
Studios.
there's multiple people.
It's
Yeah.
multiple
okay.
people. It's a small team though, small team, but I don't know. I hate it when they take too big of a bite. Like the roadmap will show like 10 updates coming this year, and they release one.
No, that's the worst when a company gets ahead of itself. You see that often with Kickstarters. They plan too far ahead, and that's why killed stuff like Mighty Number 9.
It's better
There's just too
to
much road mapping.
not put so much on it and then like go over it. The worst case scenario, you do more.
How funny is it that 3 of the 5 best esports games are over 15 years old at least?
Esports games. Oh yeah.
They
Is
dominated
there
the
CS:GO,
market.
Dota 2, League of Legends? The only newer games on there are Call of Duty and Valorant.
Oh,
Call of Duty is
Esports.
actually mad old too.
Best
Oh,
esports game.
Esports
Yeah.
coach. What? This is not a category.
Listen, at least they weren't shameless enough to put Overwatch on there.
That's true. Look, Team Spirit, baby.
I know, I see. I was just gonna say I don't see how March isn't on one of the things for best esports coach. It was T1's first year being a thing,
Yeah.
and they were the number 1 SEA team, which is the hardest region to play in Dota because China's insane. They were a Korean team, and they made TI their first time, and they placed top 8. Like I don't understand how March isn't on
And
that.
What do you
Sorry.
guys think of China's ban on like kids under a certain age playing games?
What is it? They
Like-
could play like an hour a day.
They could
It's
play like
like
3 hours, I think, is what it was.
Yeah, like it's. I thought it was lower than 3.
I didn't know that happened, but all I know is that China takes video gaming way more seriously than we
Yeah.
ever will.
Well,
There's
this ban's
here's-
recent though.
in baseball in America, you have what's called a farm system where you get players to come up from the lower ranks from like college or high school, wherever you draft them from, and then they'll play in the AA or the AAA, which means they're playing against other not professionals before they go to the MLB. There are Dota teams in China who have the exact same thing. Like PSG LGD has a junior Dota team of 15 and 16-year-olds that their job is to play Dota. Like they're training to be a professional Dota player.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, it makes so much money there now. It only makes sense.
And like speaking of Dota, it's crazy.
It's-
Like that if the International 2021 doesn't win best esports event, it'd be like a great disservice to everything.
No, it's gonna have to be Dota.
It was
There's no
such
way.
a Cinderella story with Team Spirit.
And Team Spirit beat OG too. It was like the passing of the mantle. Like it was a legitimate story. They were the undertellers. Like they were like one of those teams that was just happy to be there. What?
Weren't they talking smack on Twitter?
Oh, that all the Dota teams
everyone
talk to
does.
each
Yeah,
other.
it's normal.
They all talk to each other.
That's part of the culture.
But Spirit and OG specifically like each other because No Tail said, like, well, one, I want the team to beat us to win. But two, he said, I think they play like us. He said they're playing to their own meta. They're not doing anything. They're not following anybody else. Their hard carry, Yatoro, played so many different ADCs in the TI tournament, the whole tournament as a whole, that they didn't have enough space on the graphic to show all the different heroes he played. They had to place like one hero like out of position in the middle of the screen because there wasn't enough room in the graphic to show how many heroes he had played. They were awesome. It was a pleasure to watch.
My favorite thing about that whole thing is the meme where it's like OG losing to, I forgot who kicked them out, but it's like, you can't beat us, and it's like, OG, we know, but they can. Then it points to like Team Spirit.
It's from Thor Ragnarok when like, hey, you can't beat me, and he's like, I know, but he can, and then Surtur pops out from the mountain.
That's such a good one. And then Team Spirit ends up winning. And that grand finals, I actually went and watched it. It was really good, dude. Like, man, they almost lost too. Didn't it go to like the wire? Like
Game 5.
Yeah.
The best series are when it goes to Game 5, and the best series are when you see a bunch of different heroes. The thing about Pro Dota, and it's probably the only thing that stinks about Pro Dota that other games seem to not have, is when the meta gets locked in, people are really like, they start looking at like heroes like they have coronavirus. Like, I'm not touching that hero. There's no reason for me to play that
like
hero.
That, though.
Yeah.
And I just love the fact that when a team is like, we're going to play our meta, we're going to play heroes that you would never think of. Like the guy, so there's a lady named Effie who does like commentating, and she specifically watches a lot of the Chinese games. Like that's her region that she watches. And she said it. There was like, I don't see why they won't pick Tinker here. I mean, we haven't seen a Tinker the entire tournament. But nothing to say he's one of the best Tinker players in the world, and Tinker is a stomp against. I forget who the mid was that they were playing against. He's like, Tinker stomps this hero mid. I hope we see a Tinker. And then right after that, they picked it, and Tinker hadn't picked the whole tournament. Team Spirit and LGD, the two teams that were in there, they were not afraid to pick off meta heroes. Collapse made Magnus look like the best hero in the entire game. I mean, it's just unreal.
Yeah, that's always awesome to see.
With the shard, right?
Yep, Agnum Shard was a huge thing. The horn toss made him so much better. It's just
so fun.
Yeah, he's not an easy hero to play. And I had the meme on Reddit for a month and a half after that was how many people were playing Magnus in the pubs and just shitting in the bed because they have no idea how to play the hero.
He seems so fun. I used to play him a lot when I played Dota 2.
Yeah, you mean you just played Silencer?
Dagger, and he just like tackled him on their tower and then used the ult.
You just played Silencer? I remember.
Also Silencer with the bouncing.
He loves Silencer so much. I remember how Savio played. He was just playing Silencer. So I was like,
you go spell damage and then you just use his silence and then the dot does so much.
I don't see. I play something that takes skill, and it's very, it's a meta. Techies, like it's so skillful, so in demand, like top pick. I'm sorry that I play flavor of the game, but it's kind of what I have to do. Techies is the best.
One of the funniest combos in the game is Pudge Techies because you just hook people into the mines. Yep. And Dendi was playing Pudge in a really high MMR game, and there's someone posted the clips of it. There was, another support who's a really good Techies player. I don't know his name.
No.
But there was like 20 kills of him just hooking people into the Techies stun mines and then killing him. It was so funny. And there's nothing more annoying than getting either tiny tossed or Pudge hooked into a bunch of Techies mines. Just like nothing you can do.
Man, the tiny, bro. It's funny because that's something Josh loved. If I remember correctly, Josh, when we played Dota, Josh would play
Boulder tossed into the chuck.
Yes.
And he only got better.
What was it?
Sorry, what?
The stun. Was it the upheave?
Avalanche.
Avalanche, that's what it was.
So good. Tiny is an amazing hero.
You got bigger as you leveled up, right?
Yep.
His fourth skill, yeah.
How do you guys feel about Blabe, you know about the Arcadum thing? The turtle duck. Do you know?
Oh,
do you know
boy.
about the Arcadum thing?
I know like some details, not the whole thing, but
Well, that as long as you know, like
it was a mess.
the generic. Yeah, as long as you know, like,
As long as you know about 17.8% of it, you're good.
Yeah, I know he doesn't like playing Among Us.
Oh my god! And that's
gonna
why I
kill
won't play
myself.
Among Us.
Oh boy.
You know, that's it's just so
that
interesting,
video is so
bro.
funny.
Because like what Josh said though earlier in the day, like he goes like I don't know how anyone can get canceled like that. I guess quotation mark canceled, but then
So
like.
fast.
Yo, alright. So tomorrow I'm just. Let's see what game came out. Far Cry
Bro,
6. Yeah, I'm playing Far
The
Cry 6.
funniest thing I remember, me, you, and Sav were in the Discord, and I'm just on Twitch, and I'm like, I get a notification, Arcadum has gone live, and the fucking title's like, first time playing Far Cry. Let's go.
Yes.
Like, just zero F's given.
Chat
like,
off.
just-
No,
Chat's
chat-
off. No
the
one
chat's
can
in
type.
sub mode
Yeah,
only,
chat.
and he has
Yep.
only like 200 or 300 people watching him. It's the funniest.
No,
it's
he
the
had
most
1,000.
driest
No,
thing.
he had 1,000 people watching, but there was like 5
Oh,
people in
alright.
chat. 'Cause
That is the
Yeah.
easiest way to farm subs.
Yeah.
Just to get
Yeah.
people to flame you. That's genius.
Yep.
I mean,
Man,
clout now,
it-
right?
He,
What he
yeah.
did was shitty, 100%, 100. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't shitty, and like the people that he hurt, I'm sure you know, like definitely my heart goes out to them, all that. But you know, like he didn't do anything illegal, and I don't know. I just feel like cancel culture in itself like is like cancerous. Like
For
There's-
people who don't know, do you want to give like them a quick rundown?
There is nothing illegal about being weird, and that's essentially what it was.
yeah.
Is he was just being weird.
A
He was
professional
messaging
weirdo.
girls when he had a fiance, and he was like, like baiting them into being like, oh, like I just feel like I have feelings for you, and I just
Yeah.
don't think that you'll like me. Like it was just
Yeah,
like
let's get on
really
VR chat
weird,
and
like
act it out.
baity stuff. And this is the only thing that really kind of ticks me off about it, because like I don't care either way. Internet and like Twitch drama is like, ooh, video gamer drama.
yeah.
Like those girls were completely complacent and let it happen. Like most of them like continue to talk to him. Like I don't know about the girls that you know in real life, but the girls that I know in real life, if someone started messaging them like that and being really weird, they would stop talking to them. They'd be like, "You're weird." I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
wanna
these
talk
are
to you
people that
anymore."
were like in the campaign though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
but
bit
they're not
different.
always. No, not always. Some of them are just like friends of those cat girls that he was in the.
Like in the VR
The-
chat
yeah.
stuff.
Didn't most of the drama
It-
just come
it
from the way he
adds-
conducted his campaigns,
It's
right?
no this
It
like
adds a weird dynamic though, because you don't want to like make a big scene and then people think you're drama baiting and have it ruin like this big
But
show that, your
that's
friends
exactly
have
what
heard
they did.
of.
They all wrote twit longers and made it seem like he raped them, and he was just being weird, asking them for nudes and stuff like that.
the thing with the Arcadum thing is that he well you guys know how like things are taken nowadays. It's like you can't just do what he did and get it. Maybe you could do that like 15 years ago and no one would bat an eye, but it's more we live in like a
everyone
more
gets into
progressive,
it
more
now,
like
you can't
like
get away with
equal.
this.
Everyone gets a say. So like he was holding people's jobs over, like he was paying artists, and like he was holding the job over their head. Well, I just won't pay you then. I won't. Oh, you
He's
made
a creep,
music
no
for me
doubt about
that
it.
we have a contract for. Okay, well I just won't pay you. Like he was holding shit over their head, and
Yeah, like just abusing his position of power. in
yeah,
that
that's what
situation.
ultimately what it came down to. That's what made it so. And like, of course, like the weird, like perverse manner in which he would speak to people. However, like it's so easy for anyone to say, well, just walk away, just find a new job, find this. But so many people are so invested in it and they love the community, and it just sucks that the spearhead, like the figurehead of the community, the guy who was responsible for all the community they loved so much, was just like trash.
Man,
The thing that's
yeah, he brought so many people that like you would not expect to play D&D at
Yeah,
all.
like Soda Poppin',
Yeah.
Shroud.
Yeah, like
All these
fucking freaking
YouTubers
Soda
that
Poppin',
are
man.
teaching
Like,
stuff
dude,
like that.
do you know how much money he had invested in that? Like, he had, who was it?
you know how much
Dustin?
money Moon and Baru basically
Yeah.
gave him by donating like 200
Yeah.
and 300
No,
subs to him
yeah.
all the time, bro? Like he was getting, and that's the thing is, it's like he really the saddest part about all of it is if you watched any of the campaigns that he had with girls in them specifically, he did a really good job of making them like feel like they were involved and making them feel like they were having fun. As somebody who got into Dungeons and Dragons and really like wanted to become a DM just by watching this shit, like this looks fun and I feel like you can make stories for people. Girls are the hardest people to do stuff with. If you've ever had a girl in any of your campaigns, it's difficult to make them feel like they're having fun because usually they're going to be the quietest in the group. You know, they don't want to they don't want to like alpha fucking take control of the conversations. Like they're the exact opposite of what you need to play D&D, to role play and have fun. And
well, I mean, I think it's subjective though. Like some people do different types of campaigns, and I think it's like in a lot of cases, it's just a matter of being comfortable with the people that you're playing with. You know, I think like a lot of people...
Yes, but you have to. But as a GM, you have to coax it out of people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You need to like encourage the role playing with some people because people will be happy just to sit in the back, not say anything, and fight combat. Like that is. Will be you have to like bring them into it, like like if you're controlling an NPC, ask someone specific, like you, the quiet one, you haven't said anything, what do you think about
exactly
this? Like, you have to force them into the conversation, and Arcanum did a really good job of that.
A lot of the time you struggle is trying to get involvement.
Right? I genuinely feel that a job or responsibility of a good DM is to make like content, like make the whole experience for people that aren't used to it. If you can get someone like, I don't know, there's like Lil Wayne. If you can get Lil Wayne to play D&D with you, you're obviously a great DM.
Arcanum had porn stars playing D&D with him. Like that's
people that don't play games at all.
Exactly. Like don't even touch a video game, but I'm gonna get on to play D&D and like and like that's the point of it, is he was really good at it. So to find out that he's a fucking creep that's holding money over people's heads and fucking being like, oh, I want to see your titties, like it hurts, bro. It's just like, damn, that sucks. It really does suck.
Something else that I wanted to bring up about the money thing, like, bro, like the next portion or the next part of the world of, what was the name of his world? Verum, the whole next like chapter of it was being created, and he had like, I remember Moise, we were watching it on his stream before all this happened. He was talking about how he was gonna hire DMs and train them, and they were gonna be on salary. Like it was, he had so many things in the background going on, like probably close to, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars invested into it, and it all just got canceled off of what happened, man. And it's insane.
I was just looking forward to seeing more D&D and more D&D that was like my type. But let's be honest, like a lot of his D&D, like Moon said this, and I don't think Moon would be the person. Moon is the last person who would just say something just to, I'm gonna be a sheep and I'm gonna say what the people want to hear. I'm just gonna say this because I should.
He's not in it for the clout. So when he speaks,
he literally said how like he noticed that. But hindsight's 2020, of course. But he noticed that like a lot of the D&D sessions with Arcadium, although, you know, from like as a viewer, you're like, this is great, this is awesome, this is funny, haha. But a lot of it was backpacked by just like the great chemistry the players had with each other. He always managed to get like good players that synergize with each other, like Shore 4, Moon, like Soda Poppin', the other guy, like what's his name? What's the
Rafflegator?
Yes, yeah. Like that was just such good synergy, and like it worked. And
Shattered Crowns is the best. Like, I don't care what anybody says. And the Joe guy as a car, and Muna's Scrumpo, and even like, and it was funny. Huckleberry went from being funny to annoying to funny again. It was the weirdest fucking like thing. Like I was like, Octopimp, please stop fucking talking. It's so bad. And then at the end of the fucking campaign, he was so funny again. I was like, you know what? I'm back on the Huckleberry bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know, being able to do that, and then like, I don't know, people. But what I was trying to say is that Moon was saying that, like, you know, despite it being fun for a viewer, fun because you get to play with people you like. That's another thing. The writing, the DMing itself, although like it was like allowing them to synergize more and allow them to like play together more and sort of like dictate where the story goes. A lot of the story, like the DMing, was lazy. Like, for example, there's a specific fight where they're outside the church and they're with a guy who like can't die because he's like a like a vassal, like a servant of the god of like death or whatever, and he's
He
like
has his
that elf
soul
guy.
locked in a
Yeah,
phylactery, so he
yep,
could always recuperate.
yes, and whatever you call it. They do this fight. They fight all these ads, right? And then they get to, like the big bad. Well, it's like this priest of whatever, and Moon has like before they even go into it. Moon has this plan that he discussed with like Short Four and all them. He was like, "Don't worry, when we get to it, I'll explain it to you. This is the 5-head ultimate 5-head. There's no way Arcadum has a counter for this." He was so sure.
He was so salty. That's why he's bringing that up, because he was so salty that Arcadum did that to him.
Yeah, because if you look what he said about it, like the points that he like in his defense was like, okay, but where's the skill? Usually, if this was like a hidden ability, you have a button that you press. If you look, you type that out. You didn't. That wasn't already in there. You literally added that.
All the other stuff is like written out thick. It has like so much different stuff in it, and it was just like, this character cannot be. What was
the plan? The plan was it was like a grand clash, because if you have Tunnel Fighter,
what's it called? Where you fight somebody like that?
Grand clash. You clash. Yeah. The thing was the Short was a Tunnel Fighter, and then Moon's character had like something that like boosted it or something like that.
Taskmaster.
But yeah, Taskmaster. And it was something, I don't know, obviously not one for, I don't remember 100%, but it was like basically if they all clashed them at the same time, they would just win, because it was like impossible like statistically to lose the clash if they all clashed them. And Arcadum basically like pulled something like, well, you see, if this person gets a grand clash, they get like a +10 to their roll. So it's like pretty much they win. They win. They get to like sacrifice their HP for some like AC. Yeah. So he like
the Night Guard.
The Night Guard, yes, correct.
That's kind of whack.
But
and that's the other thing, is he kept getting mad when they fucking kept comparing it to anime. It's like, well, then stop making fucking a story that resembles anime. Like, I don't understand what she means. Like, oh, don't you spend all this time making this stuff and then they just compare it to Naruto?
Well,
then stop making stuff that fucking looks like Naruto. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. Regardless of lazy, etc., it was still fun to watch and I enjoyed it. And it's just heartbreaking that it is what happened. I honestly not even like saying it to like have anyone pity me or anything like that, but it's just like I genuinely don't think I'll ever have as much fun as I had watching those like Shattered Crowns.
100%. I agree with that. That got me. Yeah, like many people, I'm pretty sure Arcadum was the first person I ever watched like DM, and my brother knows like I would be probably the last person to be interested in that, and it was really fun. But
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think he's good, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I never watched Arcadum stuff specifically, but I used to watch a ton of like Neil and ItMeJP and like those guys from like way back when, like In Control, when he was still with us.
I've heard of that. Yeah. Severo's best friend Brian used to watch that. I remember that being made up, being brought up.
His best
like
friend.
Dark Heresy and stuff like that. That stuff was so fun.
I was gonna start like going through the VODs of Shattered Crown as this whole drama popped up, and it was just a lot to take in.
That Shattered Crowns and the Tearing Veil were both so good. They are so fun. I was actually rewatching them when all that stuff happened too, and I had already seen it, and just going back and seeing some of the stuff, they made me actually laugh out loud at some of the stuff that they were doing. That's what D&D is supposed to be.
We're riding up on like 90 minutes here, so any closing thoughts on Arcadum here?
Not so much Arcadum, but I am looking forward to D&D. Saucio,
Oh yeah.
You're like honestly, this group right here, I'm telling you, dude, this group right here would be fun as heck to play
future
D&D.
prospects, projects.
We have the website coming up soon, and definitely umbrostation.com. We'll probably have it up there. I'm just working on the blog layout and trying to. Maybe I'll ask you, Turtle, like later on. Like I was running into issues with some things on there, but yeah. Anyone else want to say anything?
It's the pilot. Thanks for listening. Just stuff like that. We're gonna clean it up as we do it more. It'll get better, and like I said, more clean, less stuttering, and less trying to volley back and forth between topics. Will be more in line the next time that we do it.
Don't look up my Twitter. There's a lot of porn there.
Turtle.
Look up my Twitter. I want all the clout.
What's your Twitter?
Tons of porn there.
Twitter.com/turtleduck.
All right.
TURTLDUC.
Okay.
No ek, no ek.
And give him a follow. Like and so. Wait, no, it's the wrong thing. Fuck. What about you, Josh? You good? All right.
Yeah,
we
buy
good?
my workout plans. No, I'm just kidding.
On my mixtape.
Oh yeah,
Protein
follow
powders.
Josh's mixtape. In the next episode, we'll talk about your mixtape. Actually, I don't want to. Yeah.
I'm a young asymmetrical hustler.
We can talk about protein powder. Actually, I'd be down for that.
Oh,
There we
definitely.
go. Yeah, that'll be like an hour long, whatever. But yeah, it was fun. I agree. Yeah, very fun. Thank you for listening.
Definitely. Thank you guys for listening. This was very fun to do. We hope you guys enjoyed listening as much as we had talking about it.
Hey, you, if you're listening, love you guys.
You're super cute. You're super cute. You're super